friends, it's me again, Miss Jen. I'm here bringing you another story, and this week's story is called Charlotte the Scientist is Squished. Written by Camille Andros, illustrated pictures by Brianne Farley. So we can think that this must be Charlotte, since it's called Charlotte the Scientist is Squished, and this is the biggest rabbit on the page, so that must be Charlotte. That's our main character. And we see some other things going on here. Some beakers, those are things that are used in a laboratory. So we're going to see how Charlotte the Scientist is squished. How is she being squished? Let's find out. Let's begin. There's the title page. And we see a lot of bunnies, a lot of rabbits there doing different things. Charlotte was a scientist, a serious scientist. Protective glasses, a lab coat, and a magnifying glass were her essential scientific equipment, plus a clipboard for important notes. Charlotte solved problems by conducting experiments that followed the scientific method. So there's Charlotte, and there's the scientific method right up here. And those are some beakers. There's her lab coat, her glasses, her magnifying glass. And Charlotte had a problem. She was squished. So where is this taking place? This is taking place inside of her little rabbit, inside their rabbit hole, or their home, and there are a lot of rabbits in there. Where is Charlotte? Oh, we see her. She's down here. We can tell that she's Charlotte because of her protective glasses, right? She was squished at the table. She was squished in the tub. And sometimes she was even squished on the toilet. Hey! So she has a lot of brothers and sisters, and sometimes she gets squished out of the table. She's not looking too happy there. Not when somebody opens the door to her bathroom. It had become impossible to conduct her experiments. Her test tubes were taken. Her beakers got broken. And her specimens were spoiled. Charlotte needed some space. Time to use the scientific method. So her beakers are being painted. There's somebody in one of them here. They're reading her things. Charlotte just looks upset. Step 1. Ask a question. How can I get some space around here? Step 2, the hypothesis. Hypothesis. If I can get rid of my brothers and sisters, I will have room to be a real scientist. So there she is yelling. Step 3, test that hypothesis. Experiment. She tried an experiment to make everyone disappear, but it didn't work. There's her vanishing potion, but they're all still there. She tried another experiment to make herself disappear. But that didn't work either. she's reading a book about chameleons. And what do chameleons do? They blend into their background. So there she is, painting herself green so she can hide. But they find her. Bang, clang, boom. If she was going to get some space, she would have to go there. Keep out. So she's building something. What did she build? A carrot ship rocket? Maybe she can get some space in space. Yay! She's there. There's Charlotte. She's finally alone in space. Step 4. Make and record observations. Charlotte was no longer squished at the table. She had the table to herself. She was no longer squished in the tub. And Charlotte could take as long as she wanted on the toilet. Space was splendid. There she is, enjoying her space away from all of her brothers and sisters. Finally! Step 5. Draw conclusions. She had all the room she needed to conduct very important experiments using her protective glasses, lab coat, and magnifying glass. Her test tubes were tidy, her beakers looked brilliant, and her specimens were sparkling. Her hypothesis was correct. She finally had room to be a scientist. So there's all of her room. She says, finally. Look at her big long ladder. The only problem was there was no one to talk to at mealtime. No one to blow bubbles with in the tub. And what was Charlotte supposed to do when she ran out of toilet paper? Hello? Space was lonely. She looks down. What's going to cheer her up? Back to step 2. Form a new hypothesis. If I can have friends in space, then I won't be lonely and I can be a real scientist. Time for more experiments. And she says, there's 1 plus more than 1 equals heart. Many friends, no friends. Space plus no friends equals lonely scientist. Then she put space plus friends equals scientist. Charlotte tried chocolate, but it was too tempting. The balloons kept floating away. She'd eat them and then the balloons would fly off. And robot bunnies were poor conversationalists. They got ruined in the bathtub and tangled in the toilet paper. Charlotte missed her family. She even missed being squished. So she tried one last experiment. Her robot bunnies. And there she sees Earth. What is she going to do to solve this problem? Oh, there, what is she doing? There comes her carrot space rocket coming back. And you see how they feel about it. They're happy to see her. And reached a new conclusion. Charlotte didn't need outer space. Look, you can see the little hole in there. That's where they live. And there she is walking out to her carrot rocket. She just needed her own space. And there she is in her carrot rocket ship, where she can do all the experiments that she wants. The end. And then at the very end of this, in the lab with Charlotte, they go over a little bit more about what the scientific method is. So if you're really interested in finding out more about the scientific method, or if you want to be a scientist, you can check this book out, and it has some more information in the back. So that is Charlotte, the scientist is squished. So we found out why she's squished, what she was going to do about it, and then we realized that she didn't really mind being squished. She just needed the space to do her experiments. And she was happy, and they were all happy. So that is Charlotte, the scientist is squished. Hope you liked it, and I'll see you next time. Bye.